October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month and a good time to spotlight the services of the CARE Family Violence Program at the Department of Social Services. The program's director, Cynthia Arrington, offers insight into domestic violence and the resources available to families through DSS.
Domestic violence is very prevalent in our society today. Domestic violence comes in many forms. Violence in the form of verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and financial abuse, all the forms of domestic violence. 1 out of 5 women sometime in their lifetime will experience domestic violence. The statistics in North Carolina during the year of 2012, there were over 84,000 domestic violence related calls in the state. Also, there was 52,000 actual domestic violence cases open in the state. Here in Cumberland County, there were 828 domestic violence cases open resulting from those calls. There has also been 63 homicides due to domestic violence in the state. Here in Cumberland County, there have been 3 homicides during the year of 2012 due to domestic violence. Domestic violence affects everyone in our community. Of course, the victims are affected, the abuser is affected, and the children, who are the hidden victims, are also affected. Now, victims oftentimes do not report domestic violence, okay? Now, the children, who are the hidden victims, as I said earlier, they miss time out of school. Employers are affected. Sometimes the employee doesn't show up for work or miss time from work due to jail or injuries. Department of Social Services' mission is to strengthen families and to work with families to promote better living environments. When we deal with domestic violence, most of the programs within the Department of Social Services encounter customers who have experienced or are experiencing some form of violence in their lives. At this point, those staff members make referrals to the CARE Family Violence Program so that we can work with those individuals to help them with their issues concerning domestic violence. The programs within the Department for Social Services who make referrals to the Care Center are the employment services. We have staff members who encounter customers from the TANF, temporary aid to needy families, and of course we have customers who experience domestic violence in the children's services arena, and of course those reports have to be made because the children may be in a neglectful or harmful environment. Then lastly but not leastly, we have referrals received from the adult services section. Oftentimes elder abuse is part of a domestic violence situation. The priority for the CARE Family Violence Program is to ensure the safety of the victims and the children. That's our #1 priority. When we work with families in the Care Center, we ensure that safety planning is the #1 priority. When we do safety planning, we help the families develop strategies for themselves to remain safe as well as the children to be safe. The services offered by the CARE program include domestic violence related services offered to the child, the victim, and the abuser. We offer individual counseling to all 3. We have a crisis hotline which is open for calls 24 hours a day. We also have victim advocacy, where we have a person who attends court with the victims and also explains legal terminology and legal terms, and also helps assist with domestic violence protective orders. We have a shelter, a safe house for women and children who are in imminent danger of abuse or neglect. They can seek safety right away. We also have a parenting workshop where we talk about how domestic violence impacts the children. We do that class every other week. Then we have a 6-month battery intervention program, which we call Resolve. Is an intensive group therapy treatment program. In the batteries treatment program, we focus on anger management, we focus on coping skills, we focus on stressors in a relationship. We talk about how individuals need to resolve their conflicts, how to resolve conflicts with others. The domestic violence services are very important to our community. We find that domestic violence normally will become more severe or more frequent as the time goes on. So intervention is the key to domestic violence. Keep in mind, domestic violence crosses all lines, all races, all religions can be victims and perpetrators. So intervention is the crucial step to stopping domestic violence in our community. The CARE Family Violence Program offers those services and is really the first step to that intervention program.